Hi there, this is Scott Allen Smith with Wailea Realty, Windermere, Maui. Today I'm just going to be going over a few more of my tips and tricks for vacation condo rental owners here in Maui. Today's topic I'm going to be talking about is communication with guests. Now, communication with guests who inquire about your property or guests who are going to be staying, who have already made reservations, is a really critical part about managing vacation rental condos that sometimes owners don't put as much thought into as some of the other aspects of running things. You are the first interaction that your guests have, and the message that you send back, and both the method and the tone of that message are really going to determine whether that guest feels comfortable booking with you or not. There's a number of different tools out there. There's new technologies and new software and new products that are coming onto the market all the time that can help with this from an automated perspective. But unless you are managing more than 3 or 4 properties at a time, I would not suggest using those because one thing that guests do seem to really react to more often than not is a more personalized approach to the communication. And the more that you can tailor that communication to the individual guest experience, then the better opportunity you're going to have to make a connection with that guest, and the faster that they're going to trust you enough to actually rent your property. You know, there's an old adage out there that the customer is always right, or the guest is always right. But I would say that your first interactions with your guests are also your first opportunity to set your house rules and set your standards and set your guidelines as to what the qualifications and requirements are in order for the guest to actually rent your place out. And what this will do is really help you out further down the line to deal with any problems or issues that come up during their stay. And another thing it does is it informs the guests that you're approaching this from a very professional manner, and that this isn't just a casual rental, but that you're approaching this as a business. Even if you're just a sole owner of one unit that you're renting out yourself, it's always a good idea to represent yourselves as the management of that condo and not the owner. This will also help you with some more problems down the line if they come up. You want to be able to have some separation between the guest and the owner for liability purposes, and just for ease of use and ease as an owner to keep your mind from worrying about the day-to-day aspects of managing your own property. So if you do start off with a plan and have an idea in mind before the guests contact you to inquire about your unit, then it makes it a lot easier to go from that basic script or that basic idea and then personalize it from there. And that will help to not only present a professional front to the people that are looking to rent your condo, but it's going to put you in the best position to be renting to multiple tenants and multiple consecutive rentals, and to get your occupancy levels up, because with the advent of search engines and VRBO, Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, so many of these places where travelers can look to get information on accommodations, people are shopping around more and more, and they are talking to more and more different places before they finally settle on the place that they end up renting. They may be talking to 10, 15, 20 other property owners or managers before they make their final decision. And a lot of that is going to be based on price, But something that seems to usurp price is that personal connection. So if you can make that personal connection right away, you're going to have a better chance of getting more bookings. Something that I like to do as well when I get inquiries, whether it's through the individual personal website or through VRBO, is to make sure that I write down the contact information on that guest, because sometimes they'll cancel their initial inquiry, or they will inquire about something and not end up renting from your place. But if you can capture that contact information, then you can put them into your database, and you can then contact them in the future if you have any specials or deals, or if you're looking to rent out particular gaps. Sometimes having that contact information from people who have inquired about your rental but haven't actually reserved and booked it can be really valuable when trying to fill in those empty gaps. One last thing to think about in that guest communication is something that doesn't happen all the time but is becoming more and more common, is negotiations. You'll see a lot of times, whether it's through your website or through a booking channel, that people are going to shop around and people are going to ask for discounts. People are going to ask for concessions. Something to think about in this circumstance is, what type of guest do you want staying at your place? Do you want the guest that is going to try and nickel and dime things, that's going to try and get discount after discount, that's going to go back and forth negotiating about price? Or do you want somebody that really wants to stay in your unit no matter the price, and they really love either you as an owner or manager, they really love the unit or the location or the building, or the beach that's closest to the unit? There's a lot of factors involved there in people making their decisions, where at first it may seem like price is the main thing that they are looking at when they're making their decision, but just know that there's a ton of other factors involved. If you're confident in your pricing and you think that you have a good price, then don't be afraid to stay strong and hold that price and let the guests know. One strategy that you can use there that can help a lot is just saying something, whether it's exactly true or not, to the effect that, the owners have set the prices, and they really don't want me as the manager making any changes to that. Sorry that I can't offer you any discounts right now, but we do have a guest discount program to our returning clients, to our returning guests. So the next time you book with us for your next stay, you'll be able to take advantage of that. And so what that basically lets the guests know is that you know the price and the value of your unit, you know what it's worth, you're offering it for sale at that price, and they can take it or leave it, but you do reward guest loyalty, so that if they do come back and they enjoy their experience and they want to book with you again, that you're going to reward that with a discount at that point. So you're still offering the incentive of a discount, but it's based off of a mutual relationship, and not based off of whether the guest is bold enough to ask for that discount or not. Now, in times such as our current situation, in low season times, don't be afraid maybe to offer a little bit of a discount if the guest asks, if it's not too much, or maybe what you can offer is to waive a reservation fee, or maybe reduce a cleaning fee, just to give them a little bit extra incentive to book your unit. But just know that there is one type of guest who is going to be looking to negotiate, and another type of guest who's not looking to negotiate. And it's up to you to determine, through talking and interacting with that guest, if you really think that they're going to be a good fit for your property or not. And how you can do that is by offering them discounts or not, being firm on your price, letting them know about your future loyalty programs and benefits and rewards, and making that decision yourself as an individual owner. I have had guests who initially were very strong about trying to negotiate in price that I stood firm on because I knew that it was a good price and I knew that it was the right market value for that time of year. They came and stayed, they really enjoyed everything, and they actually thought that in the end they did get a good value, and that they did actually pay less than it was really worth. And now those are guests who keep coming back year after year because their perceived value is high for what they paid for, even though at first they thought that maybe that was too high of a price, or maybe they were just looking to get a deal. But as long as you keep it professional and personal, and the last thing I'll say is that what you have to realize is that it's not fully a personal thing. If somebody thinks that your unit isn't worth what you're putting it out for, or if somebody is looking to take advantage of you, or is looking to kind of hold your feet to the fire based in certain circumstances, is to not take it personally and just realize that everybody out there wants a good deal. Everybody wants to know that what they're paying for is what they're going to get. For a lot of people, they're having to save up for a long time in order to take a vacation to a place like Maui, and they just want to make sure that everything goes good. And the friendlier that you can be, the more personable and the more helpful you can be to your guests, they're going to recognize that value. And the last thing I guess I'll leave you with is just timeliness. It does make sense that the quicker you respond to your guests, the happier they will be. And if you leave your guests hanging for a few days without responding, they're going to be really unhappy, and they may end up canceling. If you've got any questions, comments, you want to talk about Maui real estate or about vacation condo rental ownership in general, or if you are a real estate agent from the mainland that thinks you might have some clients either currently owning vacation rental properties in Maui or looking to own vacation rental properties in Maui in the future, feel free to give me a call, text, or email. You can check out my Facebook page for my contact information, or on my YouTube page in the description. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.